So if you've been following the page for a little while, you'll have seen over the course of last year, I think I did 3 or 4 different Let's Sew challenges. And we're going to carry on with those this year. The first one is coming up on the 25th, I think it is, of January. It's the last week of January. And I thought it may make a nice change and help more people get involved if we do some hand sewing. So we're going to be doing some English paper piecing. So if you've been seeing on my page over the last few weeks, I've been working on a project. It's been going on for a couple of years now. It was a quilt along that I bought the kit for, and I've just been doing it in the evenings to pass the time and give something for my hands to do while I'm sat quietly. When it comes to English paper piecing, some people may have questions that they would like to answered. I know during the week last week, Debbie did ask about whether I sewed through the paper as well. So that was one of the things I thought I'd share with you today. So if you've got a few minutes, you can stitch along with me. So I'll just take you down so that you can see what I'm doing. Right, so this is one of the ones I've been doing at home. I've just brought one of the pieces in to the studio so I could share it with you. I do not normally use this colour thread when I'm stitching it. This is just for the tacking anyway. It won't get seen, but I tend to use a neutral colour all the way through, so I can use it for tacking and for stitching my blocks together. Right, I just need to get myself a needle. There we go. I knew I had one ready. It was just the wrong one, that one. Let's put that back in there. Okay, so I've cut off some thread. And when you're doing a lot of hand stitching, it's probably a good idea to wash your hands before and quite often during the process as well. As when you're handling fabrics, it's very easy to get a build-up of the oils from your hands onto the fabric. So it doesn't take long before it gets a bit grubby. Right, so I just need to trim this block a bit. So I just pick up a piece and I'm just cutting around the template with just over, you want a minimum of 1/4 of an inch. I tend to go slightly bigger. Especially when I'm using fine fabrics like this, is Liberty fabrics, and they can be quite fine, so this just helps a bit more substantial. So the templates that I'm using here are actually thin card. You can buy these ready cut. When we're going to be doing the sew along challenge, we'll be printing off onto paper, so it will be a lot finer. But it doesn't matter what you use. So place that in the middle. I'm going to get my needle. At home when I'm doing this, I usually have a shorter quilting needle that I use. So there you go, I've just folded one seam down, folded that side down, and I've folded the excess fabric in the corner underneath. I'm just going to take a stitch. I've not got a knot in my thread. I'm going to leave a tail, and I'm just going through the fabric on this side and on that side of the fold. And to start it off, there you go, and that just holds it in place. No knots required. And I'm not sewing through the card, I'm just sliding it along the card and through the fabric. So fold that one down again. And you're just going to give it a gentle pull as you come through, just to pull it tight so it holds the template in place. Hold that, turning down again. So see, I'm just using one thumb just to hold it down in place, folding over the needle to get a nice fold in the corner. And again, taking a stitch. Oops. Sometimes it will just get caught on the corner, just loosen it and pull it through and stitch through again. Give it a little tug. It's not too hard, you just wanted to pull that thread tight just to hold everything in place. So I'm going to go all the way around until I come back to the beginning. Using your needle like that just helps to get a sharper fold, and it's easier than trying to use your finger. There we go. Another corner. Fold that down, and you can see it coming back to where I started. Let's get this one stitch done. And that's the beginning, and I'm just going to go over it again. Exactly the same way through, and another stitch. Give it a tug, and there you go. And there's my template covered with fabric. And you can see on the other side, I've not come through, it's all on the top. Now what happens is when you start joining these together, once all these sides have been surrounded by other templates, you can then take this one out. But until it's stitched in, it stays like that. I'll show you that another day. So I hope you'll come and join us. We're going to be using hexagons. It's probably the most familiar shape that's used in English paper piecing. We'll share a bit about the history of English paper piecing. And then we're going to make a candle mat out of hexagons. Now, I have in the past done this as a part hand sewn and a part machine stitched project. I'm contemplating doing it all by hand. So if you're going to come and join us, let me know what you would prefer, and I'll see what I can do when it comes to our Let's Sew challenge. I'll put the links in the comments so that you can come and join us. And I look forward to sewing along with you at the end of the month. So take care for now, and I'll speak soon.